Usually this guy that I'm talking to is on the other side. He's the one that interviews people, or he's the one that does the sound, or he does all the kind of great stuff to make things more fun in Freeport and surrounding areas. So I latched onto him and I said, all right, it's time to do a podcast with someone who not only is one of Freeport's favorite, but more importantly, a really good friend that does a lot for Freeport, but also does a lot with his business, Davis & Company. Hey, hi, Lance Ferguson. How are you?
I am good, Tim. How are you today?
I'm great. My goodness. There aren't many fun things in this area that take place if you're not a part of it. No, I'm serious. So with Davis & Company, can you tell people basically what your business is all about?
So Davis & Company is a mobile entertainment company that provides DJ services and photo booth services for events of just about any nature. I'd say that most prominently, I do weddings, but I can do any event, school dance, birthday party, graduation party, anniversary party, corporate fundraiser, you name it, we can take care of it.
All right. So I'm going to ask early. What's the strangest thing that's happened in the photo booth so far?
Well, you see quite a few things in the photo booth. The photo booth that I have is an enclosed photo booth. So most people go in and you can't see outside of it. So they think that nobody's watching them. I had an older couple get married a few years ago and their son mooned the camera in the photo booth. So that's definitely up there. But I think the thing that takes the cake is that I had a wedding, and when I was looking through the photo booth pictures afterwards, I caught pictures of the mother of the groom making out with a guest who was not her husband that she came to the wedding with. So that was a pretty fun one to kind of find on the fly.
I was going to say, so obviously you made a lot of money at that wedding. Holy smokes.
That was a very good wedding for me. Yes.
I was going to say, hey, look at this, by the way. Here's your bill. Yes. Nice job on that, Lance. So how long have you been doing this business? And did you just say all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to do this? Had you done photo booths and sound things before you had Davis & Company?
I had. I started DJing in 2018 after leaving a job in events in a different capacity. And a local company, Jitterbug at the time, was working one of my last events. And the owner, Terry Musser, looked at me and she said, hey, I heard you're leaving where you're at. I would love for you to come DJ for me. And so we kind of sat down and talked about it. And so I did that for about 2 years before jumping off on my own and really bringing Davis & Company into the fold and into fruition.
So what's it been like jumping off on your own? Is it scary? Is it fun? Is it exciting? What's it been like?
It is all of the above. Jumping into having your own business was completely nerve-wracking for me. I have a ton of friends who are business owners, and, looking from the outside in, you constantly see that they're working all the time, very hardworking, but you don't actually know the ins and outs of what it is to have a business until you actually start it for yourself. And I was at a position at the time where I was working a few jobs while slowly starting out with it. And when I made the full leap, it's just you live or die by the amount of work that you put in and by the service that you offer people. So it was absolutely a terrifying jump to make, but I love what I do. I love my job. I love creating events and bringing them together to help give people moments that last literally for the rest of their lives. It is one of my favorite things about the job.
The one question, because you're so creative and you do so many wonderful things, are there times where you're sitting there and you're like, okay, what do you want? And someone looks back at you and goes, I don't know. Can
all
you
the
help,
time.
I'll help. Can you help me?
All the time. And I have a bunch of questions that I ask my clients just to pull things out that they don't think about. And especially when it comes in terms of weddings or like corporate fundraisers, there's a lot of background music that goes on, and a lot of people don't think about how the background music impacts the rest of their event as well. So there's a lot of things that I ask people, what is the vibe that you want to create? What is the feeling that you want people to feel? When people leave the event, how do you want the music to have made them feel while they're there? I ask people, what are some songs that are common within your group heading back? Because a lot of people don't think about that. There might be something, we're at a corporate fundraiser and there's a song that over half of the people in the company really resonate with, and it might be a bonding moment. And, if that gets played during the company party, a bunch of people are noticing that. And it really plays into elevating the event for the evening. And it's just little things that people don't think about. And a lot of people aren't listening to music as much as they think these days, especially with podcasts now. So they're just not thinking about music in terms of that in general either.
Well, you and I have a few things in common. Let's first talk about a few of those, because we need to invite some people that are listening to this podcast to join us for a couple of things.
Absolutely.
First of all, Lance and I, we have been a part of Pretzel City Brew Fest for a long time. And Lance, why should people come to Pretzel City Brew Fest?
It's a blast from start to finish. I don't know many other events where you can go and taste a bunch of beers, and we have seltzers and other options, and if you buy VIP tickets, have some snacks available and get to hang out with some of the coolest people in Freeport for a few hours, get your picture taken at the photo booth. Who wouldn't want to be there for that?
Exactly. I'm going to tell a quick funny story. 2 years ago, a former student of mine, there's over hundreds of former students that are down at Pretzel City Brew Fest. Well, anyway, she said to me, she goes, let's do the photo booth. And I'm like, all right, I'm not busy right now. Let's go do the photo booth. So we do the photo booth, and I have a picture like that. And I always just put my merch and all kinds of stuff on the table when I come home. Well, my wife, Becky, didn't go that year. So my wife, Becky goes, oh, who's that in the photo booth with you? And I'm like, oops. Hi, Lance. Hey, want to help me out here? Tell her it's a former student. Let's go, Lance. Come on, help me out. But with Brewfest, the vibe there is just an amazing vibe. And it seems like people just want to have a good time.
Yes, absolutely. And we're in the street, so it's not the same as most of the other events that go on around Freeport, which are all great events. But there's something about having a festival in the street that really just kind of changes the way that people attend and have fun. I feel like when people come to Brewfest, they are very free in knowing that they are safe in that alley that we have created for them, and everybody just wants to have a good time.
And the photos in that area with the brick and with the old Henny Buggy building or Honeywell building, it's just so wonderful. And we hope you come down and say hi to Lance and myself. We hope you do that. Now, Lance, you and I also have been both named top volunteer of the state by Main Street, which is a group that is a part of the Freeport Partnership. And I wanted to ask you, why is it important to you to be a volunteer and to help make this community better?
I think that it's really important to give back. While I do work very hard, I would not be where I am today without people volunteering the opportunities and giving me the chance for things and to give back. I know we didn't know each other in my early days of being in Freeport, but I had just dropped out of college and I was a little lost and without direction. And some people really gave me some opportunities that I probably should not have gotten at the time. So I just think it's really important to give back because, maybe there's somebody who just needs a little bit of a chance who will turn out great. Or maybe somebody's been struggling for a little bit and they just don't know where to turn. So just kind of being able to give back and give people the opportunities that were available to me is something that's really important for me.
Wow. That's a great statement that you just made there, Lance. Of course, another great statement. Now I'm gonna ask you this question, and guys, a lot of times we kind of say what we're going to talk about on the podcast, and then sometimes I just throw a little bit of a curveball, and so I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball. I'm just telling everybody that. So Lance, we talked about Brewfest, we talked about other things, and so on. Lance, what are some things in Freeport that you really? It can be places, it can be events, it can be whatever. What are some things in Freeport that you really like?
There's so many things in Freeport that are great. It's kind of a tough question. And I've spent a lot of my early 20s, beginning of my adult life living and working downtown. So I have great things to say about downtown. I think that if you are an avid downtown goer, you see some of these businesses and people. But if you are not an avid downtown goer, then you should probably add it to your list. We've got, 9 East down here with great coffee and food options. I love going to Respun, the record store. I am a big spender there. If you, it's not hard to guess that the DJ is a big spender at the record store.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty easy. There you go.
So I do love going there. Obviously, Bort's and the movies, but I'm also a big outdoorsy person. So I love going out to Oakdale and Creek Park and taking a walk and just seeing all of the nature that is out there. I love food. So I'm constantly trying to, anytime I get a new restaurant or a business that does food in any capacity, I'm trying to try them out and see what they have to offer. And I think one of the great things about Freeport is that it is kind of a little pocket of a gem. We are the big city surrounding a lot of smaller towns, but there are so many hidden things here for people to explore if you just take a couple of extra minutes and do some of the work.
So I want you to finish off on the last one. Thank you for all of your little gems that you've said today. But I guess I'd really like you to let people know why they should contact you with Davis & Company. Why is your business, you're on 6 years, right?
Yes.
I mean, not a lot of businesses stay strong for 6 years, Lance, and there you are. You're solid. You're strong. I mean, you're strong. I mean, I see the muscles right now, but but you have more muscles than I do, Lance. So we talk about that. But I think it's one of these things that, why should someone give you a call at Davis & Company?
I would love to say something like, just because I'm the best in the business, but that is a little cocky. And I am a firm believer that while I am good at my job, there's always somebody who is better out there. So what I would like to say to people is that I am going to think about the things that nobody else is going to think about when it comes to your event. I am great at being adaptable for whatever can come up. I've been doing this. Davis & Company has been here for 6 years, but I have been DJing for almost a decade and being in events for over that amount of time now. And I have worked in events in just about any capacity that you can think of. So when you book with Davis & Company, you are getting a full package and somebody who is caring enough to think about the things that you might not have considered before your day comes up to give you the best experience possible.
Lance, thank you so much. We are at 9 East Studios, and it just has been such a wonderful podcast with you today. Everybody, I realize that there's not a picture under the word wonderful in the dictionary, but if there was, it would be Lance Ferguson. I'll tell you that right there. He's a great guy, and thank you so much for being a part of Freepod today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.